So should you get the new iPad mini in 2021? I'm going to go and run down the reasons and the highlights of the iPad mini 2021, things that you should focus on. Don't believe all the hype on YouTube and all the hype from Apple and all the negative stuff that people have put out there. I'm a regular person. I don't make tons of content like other people that depend on YouTube to make their income. So this is coming from a person that is, just looking at it from the outside in, and I don't have a lot of things invested in this product, but I'm gonna just take a look at it as a whole and give you my opinion. So the first thing I'm gonna say is the price is at $500. Now, I think the price is pretty good. It's $100 cheaper than the iPad Air, and it is just $170 more than the cheapest iPad, the regular iPad, but it is kind of an improvement over the regular iPad, even though they all do the same type of things. So as a whole though, this is way cheaper than any new iPhone out there. At $500, it's not going to be $700, $800, $900, $1,000 like an iPhone. So if you want an iOS device, very modern, contemporary, all-screen design, the iPad mini is the cheapest that you could get. So that's pretty good right there is the price. So a great thing about this device and a reason to get is if you're a iPad mini enthusiast, definitely get this device. It's a big change from the previous one. The previous one is a 10-year-old model. It feels outdated with that Touch ID and the big bezels. So you're getting way more screen for the same overall size. So it's all screen, very contemporary design. Next thing, it has Touch ID. Now, it would be nice to have Face ID on there, but Touch ID will be just as good in the built into a power button. It's going to be just as, pretty much the same speed. And, if you had real Face ID, it probably would have cost more. So it has Touch ID. Now you got USB Type-C for charging, so that's another upgrade right there. More versatile. And it comes with the charger in the box, the charging brick. So that's awesome right there in the iPad mini. All for $500. What else we got? Now we have pretty much iOS 15, so this is going to be good for several years. At least 5 years, this device will still be super fresh. Another thing is you're going to get the Apple Pencil support. Now, it's a plus because you could use it with an Apple Pencil and jot down notes and do that quick note thing, but you're going to have to pay for that. So that's kind of mixed into the downsides. There's a lot of positives to this device. Now, ignore all the stuff that Apple says about making this an all it's going to replace your laptop. It's going to replace your workstation. No, this is not going to do any of that stuff. You have to pay extra for all that stuff, and it doesn't even work right. You're going to have to carry around a stand. You're going to have to carry around a Bluetooth keyboard, a mouse. There's just too much stuff going on, and it still doesn't have macOS on there. It's not for power users. Ignore what Apple says. This is not a laptop replacement. It's not a work device replacement. This is strictly for content consumption and for easy, not too intensive content creation. So this does have a pretty good camera on there. It has that widescreen center stage view on the front camera, so that way it will give you a wide angle view when talking on FaceTime, and it'll follow you when you move around. So that's pretty nifty right there. Since this is a mini, it's going to be a very, very lightweight device. It's just going to fit everywhere. Very, very portable. And you still don't sacrifice, screen, because it's gonna replace the bezels with pretty much all screen, and that's where the Touch ID comes into play on the power button. So yeah, this iPad mini seems like a go. And if you want just a bigger device with the same style, you can spend $100 and get the iPad Air. So they're pretty much the same device, except one's just smaller and cheaper. Now, this is gonna cost you extra if you want 5G. Don't do it. Just hotspot from your phone. You don't need 5G built into this device. You can just pay more. Your iPhone already does that. Even really cheap iPhones will activate hotspot for you. This I think is a very, very rare occasion where you only need 5G on the actual iPad mini itself. Keep the price low on this. With all these Apple devices, they're very expensive on its own. So when you start trying to up the ante with storage and hotspot capability and cellular connectivity and pencil support and this and that, it gets pretty pricey, and it defeats the purpose of this technology being comfortable with you. After a while, it becomes a burden with the price, and it's not going to provide that much value at the end. So try to keep the pricing low on these devices. Don't spend too much on these. The iPad mini comes with 64 gigs of storage, and don't believe a lot of people, man. 64 gigs is more than enough. We've survived on 8 gigs and 16 gigs of phones 10 years ago, and I don't think people are taking that much more video and putting them together unless you're a content creator. Just if you're running out of storage, man, just erase stuff you don't need. That's all I gotta say. And everything's built into the cloud now, so we should need less storage, if anything, for the most part. Unless you're a content creator and you take a lot of video, then yeah, you might have to consider if you're a power user. I think the iPad mini at this price is for the general consumer and for kids. So yeah, this is pretty good pricing, pretty good device at $500, especially if you fell in love with the previous iPad mini style. This will be a huge improvement. So I think this is a go. $500, slap it on the Apple Card installment plan, and yeah, you're gonna get a good experience out of this. $500 is nothing compared to like $1,000 iPhone, and you get the same all-around contemporary device, compared to the old one. So yeah, let me know if you're gonna pick up an iPad mini and what your thoughts are on this device. See you in the next one. Peace.